Let's learn about control flow in Rust. So the ability to run some code depending whether a condition is true and to run some code repeatedly while a condition is true are basic building blocks in most programming languages. The most common constructs that let you control the flow of execution of Rust code are if expressions and loops. So control flow basically consists of if statements and loops. So if expressions. An if expression allows you to branch your code depending on conditions. You provide a condition and then state if this condition is met, run this block of code. If the condition is not met, do not run this block of code. So it's like this. We have a let function is let number is equal to 3, and then if number is less than 5, this block of code would run, and if not, if that's not true, it would run this block. Super simple, and it just tells you that you could run cargo run to just check that. Let's try changing the value of number to a value that makes the condition false to see what happens. So if you make the number to 7, and then you essentially say number, and then you try to see it's going to give you the condition was false. The reason was because that this is not less than 5. So simple. Now over here we have this function where we have a number which is 3, and then if number, then we have number was 3. So this actually means it's also worth noting that the condition in this code must be a bool. So if the condition isn't a bool, we'll get an error. For example, trying running the following code. So if it's saying if it's actually a number, well, evaluates this if the if condition evaluates a value of 3 this time, and Rust throws an error. So basically we wanted a boolean and instead you got an integer, so it gave you an error over here, which was mismatch types. Now how to fix that is essentially when you say something like this. So if number not equal to 0, number was something other than 0, and then this code would actually work. Handling multiple conditions with else if. So it's really simple, and all you got to do is, suppose we have a number which is 6, and then we say if number modulo 4 is equal to 0, number is divisible by 4. Essentially what you do is whenever you add the modulus operator with a specific number, you mean that it's actually completely divisible by that certain number, and it doesn't give a remainder. Okay, so the remainder is 0, and in that particular case, if I want to find an even number, so I basically say that specific number modulo 2, and then if that equals to 0, that means that is an even number, and if not, then that's an odd number. So that's how you could create that program. But over here, if you make it this, you basically make it divisible by 4, and if it's divisible by 3, then it's generally the same text, and then if it's divisible by 2, which is an even, and then you could say that, else that's the last resort. So when any of these conditions don't meet, you basically run this one, which is it's neither divisible by 4, 3, and 2, or 2. Now the thing is, over here, this condition is the first one that's going to be executed, and if it's not true, then this one will be executed, and if it's not true, then we will execute this. And if suppose we execute this, we no longer need to execute that. And suppose if this was true in the first case, we could just automatically skip all of these other conditions. So that's the best part about else if statements and then else. So this program has 4 possible paths it can take. After running, you should see the following output, and you can see number is divisible by 3, exactly what it had to say, because you had the number 6 and it's divisible by 3. Okay, great. So now that we have that, we could use using if in a let statement. So this is something new, because if is an expression, we can use it on the right side of a let statement to assign the outcome to a variable. So the condition is assigned to true, okay? And if I just say the condition, that means I have to see whether this is true or false. So right now you could see it's true, right? So if it's true, you essentially assign it to 5. And if it was false, like if I wrote false over here, it was going to be assigned to 6. So since I made it true, and then it would automatically activate this one and make it assigned to 5. And that's why the number 5 is being appeared here. Okay, and if you essentially say you change it up, and let's see what they do over here. you're getting a compile time error over here because you essentially have to make it the same type. Okay, the value types that are incompatible, the rest indicate exactly where to find the problem in the program. And then, basically have all of this done with, if statements and else statements. And then in the next one, we're going to be talking about loops. So repetition with loops in Rust. So stick around.